Good morning, chosen few. Those of you who are still hanging around, thanks for coming back. Here's the deal. I've touched on some things in the past and briefly spoke about them, and today I want to talk about one of the things that I'd mentioned. One of you out there, I'm not going to mention any names, but actually quite a few. The one suggested that I maybe do a little video on this, and my intentions was to do this, but I wanted to shake off the unchosen. If you're watching this video, then you are one of the chosen, or you're police, and that's okay. You're chosen to be here too. You need to hear what's going on. You can't stop it, but you need to hear it anyway. So, like I say, man, any of this information I'm putting out here, if you can prove it wrong, man. Send me a video proving it wrong, and I'll put it on this channel. But prove it. So, the information I'm going to share today, I didn't want to share to the general viewer, only those that could stick around long enough, because using this in the wrong way, in a greedy type way, doesn't ever go over too well. You need to use it conservatively. You need to use it wisely, and that is the 1099A. Acquisition or abandonment of secured property. The other one is the 1099C, which is cancellation of debt. That's what I want to go over today, folks. This may be a long video. I don't know. It depends on how much I get into. But the man that turned me on to this, I'm not going to mention any names, but he showed me how to do this, okay? And his example was through automobiles. And what he was doing is he was taking these 1099As to the dealership, and he was buying one brand new car every month. He bought his wife a Cadillac, and then when he seen that he could do that, he started doing it every month. But what he was doing is he got greedy. He was using this to buy a vehicle. He would he'd take you to the dealership, pick you one out. You'd pick it out, and then what he would do is he'd buy it with the 1099A, and then what he would do is turn around and sell it to you for 60% of the cost. And he was making pretty good money at this. And then after about 9 or 10 months of doing this, a couple of agents showed up on his doorstep, or at least that's what he told me they were. They told him, they asked him for his name. He's like, man, Chris, I thought I was busted. One officer told me his name, and then the other one took a couple steps back. They were standing at the front door. He was in his bathrobe. It's like 8:30 in the morning. And the agent asked him his name. He told the agent his name. He said, then the agent leaned in and said, look, Mr. James, nobody needs a brand new car every month. Limit your purchases to one new vehicle per year, per adult, per household. He said, and they walked away. So he said that was close to the end of the year, October, November, something like that. He said, so I had to drive my trash truck around till January before I could do this. But see, greed caught up to him. The dealership that I dealt with, greed caught up with them. You cannot abuse this. If you're going to get a new car, get a new car. And then drive it. Drive it at least till the warranty wears out. I wouldn't even get one every year. I'd just drive it till the warranty ran out and get a new one. Okay, so, but here we go. This is a 1099A, okay? I'm going to show you what one looks like, and then a little later on I'll come back and explain to you how to fill one out. This is a 1099A. This is one of the ones for $4 million. that I sent to the Treasury. Okay, if you'll notice, take a really close look, you'll notice, or take a snapshot of this. I've covered up my Social Security number, or their Social Security number. But if you look at this document, it's simple. This comes, you have to get them from the IRS, okay? And you have to, they'll come in 3 copies. You have to have them from the IRS because they scan these things, okay? And then there's 3 copies. If you'll notice, there's a copy A, copy B, and copy C. When you get these are carbon copied, okay? And up at the top, you'll see it right up there at the top, right? That's the name and the address of the lender, okay? And then if you look down there, you'll see their number. And then if you look over to the right of that, you'll see my covered up Social Security number. Then my name and address, okay? And if you look over here, you'll see that there's a couple more boxes to fill out. One's the amount, and down at the bottom, you'll see where it says lien security. That's the description. If you're going to buy a car with that, you would put the year, make, model, and VIN number in that description, okay? And then you fill in the amounts. The date, number 1 box is the date. And number 2 and 3 are the fair market or balance of the principal outstanding or fair market value of the property. Okay, this is a photocopy of copy A. This is the one that was sent to the Treasury for the $4 million lien. Okay, they'll come 3 to a sheet. That's why this one's folded in half. I didn't want to cover up all the Social Security numbers, but there's 3 of what I showed you on this one sheet. Then what you do on the back of it, once you fill that out, on the back of it, you're going to sign it with a beneficiary signature. Okay. Here's a photocopy of one that I used in prison to show the inmates how to do this. See, it's just a photocopy, a black and white photocopy of what one looks like. You can print them off the internet like that, but you can't use them off the internet. They have to be the original from the Social Security. But see, I signed it with a beneficiary signature, and that's what you would do with this thing. It's a check. It's a check. It's going to be used as a check. When you go to use this thing, I mean, think about it. Think about this for a minute. Okay? There's a to and a from, right? There's an amount. And on the back, there's a signature. Like I showed you from this other piece here. You flip it over and sign it just like a check. Okay? And I'll get into, how you might deal with the dealership. But for now, I wanted to get into the instructions of this thing, because there's some things in the instructions that are going to blow you away. When you go to the Department of the Treasury Internal Revenue Service website, and you put in 1099A, 1099C, right? It's going to get instructions for forms, and it's I don't know, I think it's like maybe 6 pages or something, probably not even that, probably just a couple. Yeah, front and back, like 5 pages, okay? And that's going to tell you how to fill this out. And in here it says there's a description heading, property. Property means any real property, real estate, such as personal residence, any intangible property, intangible personal property, except the following. And then it goes on to explain a couple of things that you can't. Then it goes on, it says, who must file? It just says that multiple owners of a single loan, like the banks, government unit, a government unit or any of its subsidiary agencies that lend money secured by property must file a Form 1099-A. They have to. It's not it's must, like shall, like the word shall. Subsequent holders, multiple lenders. You get a loan for your house. You get a loan from the bank, and then the bank sells it to another mortgage company. Multiple lenders. But it'll go on to say on page 3, unless it's changed a little bit since from 2019. But it says, check this out. It says who must file, and it talks about coordination with Form 1099-A. It says if in the same calendar year you cancel a debt of $600 or more in connection with a foreclosure or abandonment of secured property, it is not necessary to file both the 1099-A, acquisition or abandonment of secured property, and Form 1099-C for the same debtor. Think about this, man. You guys are going to want to go there and download these instructions and read them, man. This goes on to say who must file. File Form 1099-C if you are any of the following: a financial institution described in Section 581 or 591A, such as a domestic bank, trust company, building and loans association, or savings and loan association. 2, a credit union. 3, any of the following its successors or subunits of one of the following: A, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC. You see it on the bank. You see it on the doors of every bank. And those that are federally insured anyway. National Credit Union Administration. Any of the federal executive agencies, including government corporations. Check it out. Any military department. U.S. Postal Service. Postal Rate Commission. A corporation that is a subsidiary or a financial institution of a credit union, but only if, because of your affiliation, you are subject to supervision and examination by a federal or state regulatory agency. Check these out. 5, federal government agencies, including a department, an agency, a court, or court administrative office, or an instrumentality of the judicial or legislative branch of the government. Any organization whose significant trade or business is lending of money, such as finance companies or credit card companies, whether or not affiliated with the financial institution. The lending of money is a significant trade or business if money is lent on a regular or continuous basis. Okay, check that out, man. That is crazy. The federal government agencies, including a department, an agency, a court, or court administrative office. Right? So what are courts? That stand right here that they're administrative offices. An instrumentality of the judicial or legislative branch of government. They're filing these things, folks. When you do the bonds, or when they do the bonds, or you sign the bond, you underwrite the bond, they're going to file a 1099-A on that, a check, brothers and sisters, a check on your trust, and they're going to hit you with it, man. Uh, it's a really interesting read, and I would suggest that anyone interested in getting into this read it over rather well, and because once you do, you're going to you're going to comprehend what it is that you can actually do with these things. Okay. Someone asked me last night. Well, when it goes on to the debt cancellation, read that. I mean, these things can cancel your debt just like that. Most of the time, banks will send them. The brother I was talking to last night, he said that he had a car, and they were down on their luck a little bit and missed the payments. I don't know if they were the last few or whatever, but they actually discharged the debt and didn't get the car. He claimed that that he hadn't got the title. They haven't sent him the title back for it yet. And I suggested maybe apply for a lost title or sell it without one. Let the new buyers apply for a lost title. But this thing is crazy. You can purchase things. Well, you can't. And I'm going to get into explaining to how you work this. Okay. You go into the dealership. You pick out what you want. Even say you want to trade in your car that you're upside down on. For those that aren't familiar with that, that's where you owe more on the car than what you can get out of it. And you're upside down on it. That money that if they take it in a trade, don't you even have to haggle with these guys. Look, man, what will you give me on the trade-in on this particular vehicle that I'm picking out brand new? Say it's a couple $1,000s less than what you owe on it. What you're upside down on will just be added to the 1099A. So they're going to pay off your old loan and then let you have the new thing, okay? The new vehicle. So you go in there, right? And, here's the thing about it. You can fill these out, and you can sign the back of them, and you can give them to whoever. But if they don't accept it, you're out of luck. That's why it's important to know what you're talking about when you go in and roll up on these dudes, okay? Because the particular dealership that I dealt with, they were, oh no, man, this sounds like fraud. I broke it down for them, and when you go in there and say, look, man, I'm looking at trading in my old car for this new one right out here. It's $80,000 Escalade or whatever, just whatever, dually, Chevy truck, whatever, man. I'm looking at trading this old car in on this, if you spend more on them, they're probably going to give you more for your trade-in. So work that kind of deal out, and then tell me, and then first thing they want to do, they're not going to think that you're going to take care of this right away. They're going to want to finance it for you. I went in, I said, look, Dave, my credit sucks, okay? This is back in 2016. My credit sucks, man, I'm telling you right now. But let me have the application. So I filled out the application. When I handed it to him, he went off and he came back and he said, yeah, your credit's not too good, dude. We're probably not going to be able to finance you. I said, well, look, I don't want to be financed anyway. He said, well, why did you fill out an application? I said, I'm going to take care of this debt within, a month or two. Straight up. And his eyes got really big, and I said, I guess he was thinking I was going to come in with a bank draft or something like that. And I told him, I said, no, I'm going to take care of this. I said, look at here, man. I said, I gave you that application, and because I gave that to you, you accepted a trusteeship and you created a fiduciary obligation for the trust, and I broke down the trust for him, and I thought it was going rather well. And he's like, really? You can do that? Yeah, man, you know. If you decide, Mr. Dealership guy, that Chris needs a brand new, you know, Chevy Dually, then you can do that because you're in a fiduciary obligation. If you think I need one, you can do this. And I'll fill out this 1099-A and sign the back of it, and then you, acting as the trustee, can file this with a 1040-V. You know, within 45 days, the Treasury will pay you. Oh, man, that sounds like fraud to me, man. I don't go to federal prison, you know. This is how this works. You don't know that they're doing this. These jokers out here that are fleecing your trust are using these 1099-As. You're giving them trusteeship, and they're turning around and they're filing these, and because you gave them trusteeship, they can sign your name on the back of them, acting as an authorized representative. And then it goes to the Treasury, okay? So, and they're filing them. The courts are filing them. I just read a list to y'all who's doing this stuff. How come it's okay for them to do it, not you? It is okay. So I told dude, he said, look, man, he said, we're getting ready to close, and, you know, I'd like to work some kind of deal out with you, but, you know, I don't, you know, want to take the chance. I said, okay. I said, give me a notebook. And he gave me a notebook, and I wrote down, basically breaking it all down, took about a page, not quite a page, you know, of what the transaction would entail. I said, here's what I want you to do, bro. It's not going to hurt you no more than taking a little time out to call your accountant and ask your accountant, you know, can you do this? Right? Ain't going to hurt. I said, so tomorrow when you come in, you know, you got a little time between your sales of your cars. Go ahead and call your accountant and just read it to her. Just read it straight from what I wrote. He said, okay, you know, it was nice meeting you. It's really interesting to hear what you had to say. You know, I thought I had this dude pretty much hooked and ready to roll, but he's shaky. So I said, look, man, here's my phone number. I'll put it on the bottom of this paper. If you find that you, after talking to your accountant, that you can do this, give me a call at this number. And if you want to trade this car I'm upside down on is a Dodge Caliber. Too small, man. I had a couple teenagers I had to haul around. So, yeah. I said, give me a call. And we'll take care of this new purchase. So, he calls me. He didn't call me the next day, but he called me the morning after. He said, hey, Mr. Hauser. I said, hey, what's going on? He said, do you still want to make that deal? I said, do you still want to take the trade in and accept a 1099-A in lieu of a final payment? He said, I said, first I asked him, I said, what's your accountant say? He said, man, I don't know who he's talking to, but they're freaking genius. Yeah, do that. So he calls me, man, and yeah, man. He said, yeah, bring it down and, you know, clean it out and bring it down, and you know, we'll do this. Bring your 1099-A. Like I said, I keep one in my glove box for insurance. Keep one of these in your glove box. Get them from the IRS and keep them in your glove box. Put your 2 or 3 in there, okay? Because you'll use these. If you get in an accident, this is your insurance. You're self-insured. Why are you out here paying freaking Allstate? You know, I got a young 20-year-old daughter driving an Accord, a 2016 Accord, and you know, it's $1,100 a year just to have her on them. Yeah, roll with these, man. They are proof of insurance. Like I said, you can go into any courtroom and say, look, you know, I'm self-insured. Prove that I don't have millions of dollars in my trust. If you can't prove that I'm not a multimillionaire based on the amount of money that's in the trust, well then I am self-insured. Hey, Judge, please find out how much money I've got in my trust. You know, if I don't have millions of dollars in my trust, prove that. If he goes to try and prove it, they're going to tell him it ain't none of your business. Leave that dude alone. Because they know me. You know, this is what we did. This is where the money's coming from. This is this is how we're getting even. You mess with me, I'm getting in your pocket. I'm taking your money. Like my ex-wife. Oh, you ain't getting nothing from her. She's broke. She's filing bankruptcy. Well, I got it. So, and then you bank it. Somebody asked me, they said, well, how do you know you're a secured party? There's $4 million right there, says I am. See there? I got 15 of these, bro. I got another 12 that say $12 million. So, they're in the bank. Prove to me, Your Honor, that I don't have $4 million in my trust. And I'll go out and I'll call Allstate. But if you can't, you sure can't try me for a violation of the implied consent law. So, that's pretty much that. I've got a list of emails from a lot of y'all that I've sent. I've sent a bunch conditional acceptances out already, and I'm trying to keep track of everybody. And I even had to buy me a new laptop just to do all this with. But you know, it's what we do. Get ready, y'all. Get ready. Some of y'all might not be able to work this. Some of y'all might not be able to. But you gotta roll off in there like, hey man, I got $4 million in my trust. Yeah, I can buy anything you got on this lot, bro. But you can't be greedy. You can't be greedy with this, man. You wanna get a new car, go get a new car. You wanna go get an RV? Go get one. You wanna get trustee, the trust or the beneficiary needs a new bass boat. If I got a new bass boat, then I have to have a nice truck to pull it. You know, if you can get the lenders at the bank to accept a 1099-A, you can buy a house, man. Hey, trustee, the beneficiary needs that new mansion down on 12th Street, okay? It's for sale, and I need a new mansion. I got a big family. You know, I need a big house for my kid can ride his tricycle in wintertime, right? If you can convince them that you need this, and it's in your best interest, well, then it's in their best interest to do you right, because if they're not, they're committing fraud. You know, if you want to make them lean a little bit more your way, say, hey, you know, you're the trustee in this trust, man, and you have a fiduciary obligation to the trust. You know, you have to do what benefits the beneficiary. If you're not, you're committing trust fraud. It's called malfeasance of office. It's felony. So, you know, hey, man, you might want to try this. You know, and the cool thing about it is it's the dealership that's filing. If they're the ones filing it, they're just filing it on your behalf, man. Trying to get you into where you need to go. But thanks once again for hanging out. This one is especially for you people that have stuck around long enough. You are the ones that deserve to know about this stuff. You know, the other, you know, there's over 4,900 views on the original video right now. We busted 9,000 viewers here yesterday. So, but there's a select few. There's about about 150, 200 of y'all that stuck around, so, and I appreciate you all. So there's a little gift from old Chris. Have an early Merry Christmas.